Hey, Freedom Squad in the house.
Freedom
These
Squad.
boys are down here drinking coffee. I'm over here all jacked up on Mountain Dew Zero.
Well,
Good to see everybody in the house tonight. We decided to get together tonight, get the whole squad together, and do a Freedom Squad Friday to talk about the FishOPS hashtag Catch 22 Challenge. Figure we do a little Q&A. I just like 30 minutes ago put up a video on walking through what Catch 22 is, how to measure your fish, kind of what you need. It's just a basic overview. There's only so much I can do sitting here in the middle of wintertime in Southern Indiana to talk about an online tournament that's actually online challenge that's already going on around the nation, especially the folks down south who are already on the water getting after them. So real quick, I'll just do a brief recap of the overall program, and then we'll sit here and answer questions and chit chat for the next hour or so. But the bottom line is every year, every day, we lose roughly 22 veterans a day to veteran suicide. And studies say that number is actually probably higher, but our goal is to work to get that number to zero. Honestly, everybody in the nation right now was probably affected by somebody who got back home and lost that war. And our goal, again, is 3 veterans, the Freedom Squad, and all of you, the Freedom fam out there, is to raise awareness to try to get those numbers down. And the way we do that, hopefully, and according to a lot of studies, and just, with those of us here from personal experience, is to get together with friends and so forth to kind of fellowship and spend time doing activities you like to do, be it playing video games, playing golf, going bowling. In our case, we like, bass fishing out of a kayak, just something to do to get somebody out of their house and involved in outdoor activities so that they, so that you feel like you belong somewhere. You don't want to just, and it just doesn't apply to veterans. Don't get me wrong there, because as we talk about quite often, this also affects, our homeland heroes, police, fire, CNAs, nurses, everybody who's been dealing with the stuff over the last couple of years. And that actually, affects a lot of people outside of that, just the folks who are basically showing up and going to work every day during the last 2 years and, making sure basically everything that kept running while, the stuff was going on. But again, our focus is on, getting people out and on the water and having more fun. So I'd like this. You go back and watch the video after this, and we'll talk about a lot of that too. But the goal is to get more people out, get them involved. And one of the great ways to do that is under KBF, the kayakbassfishing.com, a veteran-owned organization by a Navy veteran, Chad Hoover. He started up a side brand to KBF, which is a professional bass fishing series, league. And he also started up a brand called FishOPS. And that's real important to the 3 of us. That's why Chad invited us down to his place at the Bass Fishing HQ headquarters on Veterans Day to talk about FishOPS and then the challenges and things that were going to come out of that. And our favorite one that many of us and you out there in the fishing fam did last year was the Catch 22 program that, for raising awareness. And it still shocks me that we had over 450 anglers catching over 22,000 fish in last year alone. And can you imagine if we break over 50,000 this year? That would just be insane. But the goal is you could have some fun. You can fish on the fun side, upload 22, bass, get you a dog tag like the cool one that I have here and a decal. And they have like a competitive side, whereas like, the 3 of us were chasing bass around the state of Indiana, trying to outdo each other. And Jeremy was well over the 400 mark. Matt was right behind him, and I was a couple spots behind Matt. So it was pretty cool. It's a fun challenge. But again, it's something that we're wanting to do because it's a great way to fundraise. But if you're not into bass fishing, there is also, the NE22, which is catfish, crappie, bluegill. In my case, I always catch a bowfin when I'm fishing. And, so, and that's nationwide. So we wanted to come on tonight to talk a bit about it. And now I know Sly Fox is talking about, teams and all that. We're not talking about Knucklehead Bass Fishing Series. Tonight is Catch 22. The Bass Fishing Series stuff will come, in a few months. Tonight's focus is getting you guys all involved in, because, the other thing is kind of for us to do whatever. Yes, Cool Granddaddy, Sweets Forever, Saltwater Fish Count 2, and the NE22. But the goal there, again, is this Catch 22 challenge is to fundraise for this year. It's Heroes on the Water. And, for those who've been following the channel, that organization means quite a bit to us. Jeremy, let's pop to you for a second and talk about, your first encounters with Heroes on the Water and kind of how it touched, your life a little bit.
Well, the guys from Heroes on the Water had a long-standing relationship with the VA domiciliary, and they would send a guy out with a van, load everybody up in the van, and then where we went was down at Crane Naval Base at Greenwood, I think it was. They provided all the kayaks, fishing poles, baits, food, everything that these guys could want. They were basically handed and took out fishing. It was amazing. I didn't actually get to go because I had a surgery on my arm. And so I was in this big bionic arm looking thing. But the guys came back from that first event, which was like the week after I got there. And I was floored. That's all you heard these guys talking about was fishing. I'm like, wow, where'd you all go? Anyway, long story short, they come out about 6 months later and took another group of guys. I still couldn't go. But when those guys came back, it was summertime. Everybody was excited, and they were like, hey, we got fishing poles in the rec room. Why don't we go fishing? And then they were like, well, who knows how to tie and who knows how to do this? And somebody was like, oh, Jeremy knows. So they actually came up to my room and asked me if I would come down and teach them a little bit about what we had in the rec room. I walked in, they had everything from bait casters to spinning rod and reels. They had a selection of baits. I mean, we literally, we were all in. Ended up finding a lake behind. It was right off Fall Creek, and I can't tell you the memories I have with the guys there. One of my buddies, Todd, never fished a day in his life. Throws a spinnerbait out there and catches one over 6. While I'm trying to help him get this one in, another guy who kind of knew what he was doing was down about 30 feet and he caught one over 8. And I'm like, I had no clue there were such big fish in here. But we got them weighed. We got pictures. You can imagine those two guys with their pictures going back to the Dom, telling all the other guys about it. So it was kind of bad. I had guys skipping class to go fishing. And I had to tell them, no, you got to go to class first, and then we'll all go fishing. Don't skip and go by yourself. But that's kind of how I was introduced to Heroes on the Water. It is such an awesome organization. And that kind of also is what led JT to where he's at today. I mean, it's just amazing. So because of what they did for me, he went and fished a tournament. And then we ended up fishing the next year together in the Heroes on the Water tournament. And yeah, he beat me. Gramps beat me. Just saying.
He beat me. So I noticed as I'm paying attention, paying attention through the chat, a certain name pops up that's very special to Jeremy and I, and that would be our sister Joy, who is a nurse, who is one of the ones we've been talking about that had to endure, and also Joy's daughter, I can't say our favorite niece because that would be showing bias. And no,
Yeah, there would be
I would
all in
never
trouble.
hear the end of that. One of my other lovely nieces, Shurston's in the house. Love seeing Joy and Shurston both in the house. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you guys on. But yeah, dude, I mean, it's awesome that Jeremy, I mean, I can't imagine being one of the two guys with Jeremy, and the first bass he ever catches is like a 6-pounder.
I got a disclaimer.
You got a disclaimer. Go for it.
Okay,
Go for it.
So this lake that Jeremy's talking about, it's the honey hole. It's the honey hole. He took me last year, and we were pretty well skunked all day until I started throwing a frog. And then I still didn't catch, no big 6 or 8 pounder. It was like 2.5. So I think that this story is sus. Like, I think we're going to have to get the pictures.
JT, do you happen to have the pictures from when me and you went and it was the Heroes on the Water and we actually caught fish? So maybe it wasn't the location.
You didn't catch
any. Sure I did.
We caught little ones. We weren't skunked.
Fisherman. Right there, yeah. One of those two guys.
Oh, man. No, it's a cool little lake. It really is. It really is.
Now, Jeremy, were you guys up at the lake at Fall Creek, or you were the one there on the installation there at
we would go fish Fall Creek on the state park at Fort Benham, but the ponds there not all that great.
Yeah.
The guys started getting into smallmouth fishing, and that's there's some big smallmouth in Fall Creek.
Oh yeah. Well, the good thing for me is now having the other, now also having another, pedal kayak or paddle kayak. It'll be nice because it'd be the spot that you're talking about be really hard for me to get the kayak in. But now that I have the smaller boat too, I'll be able to drag that down the bank and hop back in there.
Yeah, we got to do that. Yep.
Yeah, most definitely.
I also want to point out, going back to the start of the stream, I was fishing Wednesday, peeps. I was out on the water Wednesday, and now it's snowing today here in Central Indiana.
Yep, just like that.
And
most definitely, yeah. Matt's the first one of us to get out on the water this year, and it was actually a nice looking day. Make sure you hit twitch.com/OEF5, and you can go back and watch twitch.tv. That's right. I got to remember the stuffs and whatnot. So Michael Bradley wants to know, where can he get the knucklehead hat? Those are available at kayakbassfishing.com. Hit the shop, because all of the brands that are kind of under that, the knucklehead bass fishing series is part of is a brand underneath KBF, so you can actually get those hats. Yep. But you can actually get those hats and some t-shirts for the knucklehead stuff at kayakbassfishing.com. Just go to the shop.
And JT,
there's a direct link.
JT,
what was that?
I just realized that Dad must be watching since Joy and Shurston are in here. So
yeah, I figured they probably got it pulled up on the TV. Everybody say hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
What's up, Dad? Hey, thanks for letting me take your boys to Kentucky and letting me tag along and have a good time. I appreciate it.
Carol, did you say that you saw a 6-inch trace in that box? Oh, some people talk about. Oh, and if you guys didn't know, American Legacy Fishing is starting to get in 6-cent stuff. Just to let everybody know.
Nice.
So I'll post on that today. So anywho, so again, the fun part is, now what I don't want you guys to mistake, there's a couple of different things when we're talking about the Catch 22 challenge. The Any 22, that's just by count, so it's for fun. And I think somebody down in Florida has already got like 50 or 60 fish uploaded into it, because he's trying to just, every fish he catches, he's putting it up. So the Any 22 is just by count. Then if you're going to do, you want to do chase bass in your particular state, those are measured by inches. And then every time you upload a bigger fish, it will auto cull your next smallest one. So when we say challenge your buddies and your friends, well, that's kind of what me, Matt, and Jeremy were doing, along with a few of the other folks here in the chat in Indiana. Was, we were uploading fish, while we were out fishing, and, it just knocks your next small one off. So Jeremy actually managed to get up over 400 inches of fish. And I figure this year we're all going to be gunning for for that number, just, since we're getting started earlier in the year. And and
and
all
we
of
understand
that.
it better of how it works. And
Yep.
again, it
So
was a
here's a
learning curve for
question.
me.
Here's a question that we got coming in from chat, and we're going to go ahead and let Matt answer this
Uh-oh.
question because this actually happened on his birthday last year. So, Matt, why
Okay.
don't you roll and explain what is the Freedom Squad?
So what is the Freedom Squad? The Freedom Squad is basically the three of us. We went out on my birthday, May 20th, fishing some strip pits down in southern Indiana that Gramps knows well. And I said, and I was live on Twitch at the time, and I said to my chat, hey, we need a name. Like, and I said to the boys, like, well, we need a name for this group, especially if like we're going to go do team tournaments or something like that, because we'd already planned on signing up for the Turkey Bowl in Indiana to do team tournaments. And so one of my viewers, because we were kicking around ideas and all this stuff, trying to tie in with the family and family and all that stuff, and he straight up said Freedom Squad, and I said that, and boom, it stuck. So I designed these jerseys. It says Freedom Squad down the side. We fished in them all last year. We're gonna try to design some new ones for this year. We're still not sold exactly on which way we go. We got a brand new logo. Like, we actually have an official logo that's copyrighted. I know a graphic artist who got this, and it's a sweet looking logo. And if you're not following our Instagram, the Freedom Squad 1776 Instagram, give that a follow. We're going to be posting more stuff on that this year. But basically what we want to try to do with Freedom Squad is to get you guys out to meet us, get out fishing, and learn about this kayak stuff. If you have questions, you can ask, especially if I'm live on Twitch, you can ask right then, and I can ask either one of them if you have a question and get an answer like instantaneously, just like we're doing with chat here. I have an earbud, so I hear chat the whole time. I can still fish. I don't have to look at a phone. It's a pretty sweet little setup. But we want to try, and I'll just go ahead and say it. We want to try to have a get together this year at the Boat Sport and Travel Show first. We're not sure on exactly which day. I'm thinking maybe the first Saturday at 1:00, if you guys are good with that. I don't know what your schedules are, but we'll have to, it'll either be the first or second Saturday, because
whichever day you say, because I plan on making at least one trip up. So
right. And then you can come actually meet us in person along with Chad and Gene Jensen and Chad Hoover, because they're going to have a table at the Moving Waters Outfitters booth, who, if you haven't been to the Boat Sport and Travel Show since they took over with the Heartland Kayak Festival, come. They've basically taken over most of Tackletown. And Tackletown back in the day used to be why you went to the Boat Sport and Travel Show. So now they're going to have 2 pools. You can test Hobies. You can test anything that Moving Waters carries, which is bona fide Old Town, New Canoe, Native. Who else do they carry? JT? Jackson. Like, if it's a brand and you want to look at it and you want to sit in it and get in the water on it, go.
Yep, most definitely.
And then you can meet us and then hang out with us, and if that's something you want to do. Because I know Gramps is famous, and I'm, Jeremy and I are just kind of down here over here, but you want to meet Gramps. So
the key thing is we're talking about doing some different get-togethers where we can get together with people and fish so a few times, because we're going to be bouncing around and trying to hit different places, hitting new water, the White River up there, chasing smallies, state parks, and some of these, we want to get together with people who are around the Midwest and just meet and fish with all kinds of everybody. And like we had talked about, maybe someday getting together like at a park or something where we can do a little picnic and fishing that way too, just to kind of do a little meetup, because we want the Freedom Squad, which is everybody who wants to be part of Freedom Squad, to join along. And as Chad Hoover says, and this is kind of what we're doing, following along with him, because we're going to be, we're not going to call it a sub chapter of what he's doing, but we're a part of the movement that he's building, which is each one reach one. So, I grab somebody and bring them fish and they're hooked. They grab somebody and bring them fish and they're hooked. And the more of us that are doing that, the more of us are having an influence on other people. And like I'm saying, I'm trying to build up where I have a couple kayaks. So, that even if you don't have one, you have a way to get out on the water. And like Army Outdoors did with us last year, he popped out on his boat and you just see a couple of kayaks and a boat rolling down a bank BSing and throwing some casts. But I got to pause for a second because I know Shurston and my dad are having fun with this. So I got to throw this one up on the screen. It says, where can I get the only thing I love more than fishing is being an Uncle shirt? Also, Grandpa wants to know if you guys would like to learn how to catch big fish.
Oh,
Thanks,
ouch.
Dad.
Ouch. We're getting it from the crowd.
So if you wonder where we get our banter from, yeah, this Pops is the one who kind of brings it all in there too. So yeah, we come by it honestly. That's for sure.
Big frog
yeah,
fish.
sure.
Josh throwing
Church
it
is
out there
100%
too.
right. We're huggers in this family.
Oh my goodness, Josh. The other thing too is some of these I'm gonna cook at, right? Like so
Yep.
I'll pull my smoker up and it may not be anything elaborate, just maybe some brats and hamburgers, but we're gonna plan something out to where it's a get together. You're gonna get fed, do some fishing, hang out with us, but
yeah,
we'll let you know. We'll keep you. And we just want people to have fun, get out, fish, be in the outdoors. Hey, and if you don't want to fish and you want to stand around the smoker and learn about barbecue, I love talking about it. So,
yeah, because recreational therapy is just that. It can be all kinds of different activities. And Jeremy's got his frog.
I was showing it for Josh.
I'm sorry.
This one's for Gramps.
Look at, did you see what Chad just said?
It can only get worse if we added another mug from the Navy in here.
Welcome, Chad.
Trying to scoop this all off the screen.
Now, okay, so Ralph, you tell them, because you fish with us. You tell them, are we any different when we're out on the water than we are right now on this stream? Because the way we're acting right now, because we're not interviewing anybody, this is just us. This is how we are.
Yep.
Well, except for Jeremy, he's way more vocal on the water.
Yeah, he's all shy and quiet on the internets, but you get him in person.
He's way more crap talking on the water. Like he even did it down in Alabama. Like he goes, "Do you want me to show you how to catch those fish?" Like he's on it.
And it's funny because I would have loved to have a camera on you two when you first got to know each other because I wasn't there. I basically put you guys on the water at the same, the same time and same place and let you get to know each other.
I just said, "What's up, man? Where they biting?" And then he proceeded to show me and put a 400-inch whoop on me. Okay, literally side by side, fishing the same road bed, 10 feet apart. I catch a 15. He pulls in an 18. I catch a
I don't want to hear
and a
it.
half.
You two.
He pulls in a 19, and I'm like, "What are you doing different?" And he goes, "It's 10-inch power worm, bro. 10-inch power. You want one?" And I'm like, No, I don't. I'll get my
Don't
own
let them
stuff.
play all innocent because both of these knuckleheads, I'd have one on each side of me throwing damn frogs.
Well, so let's not talk about frogs. We won't talk about frogs. I caught some.
Dad says he's going to refer to this as recreational fishing. He just goes out and wrecks them. I can't wait to go down to his house and wreck some down there down south. I haven't caught a big fish in so long. I just don't even know how to act.
He gave you the juice and you didn't fish it.
No, I was trying to catch a big fish. He wasn't saying throw the frog in his pond in the middle of it. When was he there? October, November, whatever. This was after the fact.
You can say dysfunctional.
Oh my goodness. You can't say dysfunctional without saying fun. See, Chad's got all the lines. I can't even.
He does.
I can't even compete until I'm kicking his ass in the weight loss contest. But there's a long. Oh, here's Sly Fox. I knew I shouldn't have said anything about frogs because he's got to be the one who reminds me that May 5th is coming. But I have no fear that I will catch a frogfish I will catch a frogfish prior to my
Hey,
birthday.
Sly,
I don't care what has to happen.
Sly, I'll knock it off. If I'm around him and he's throwing a frog, I'll make sure he doesn't catch one.
Right.
It probably will, yeah.
Take the horn, just hit it. We got you, bro.
It's right there in the package. The one that was on the tree is like right up here somewhere. So yep. You see that shiny box right there? It's like the good Lord is illuminating it. I need to turn this light off. I mean, if I just
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we have big plans this year for Freedom Squad. But if you guys want to, I put the link for the Boat Sport and Travel Show. If you guys really want to just come out and hang out and meet us, we will get you an actual date. We'll put it on socials or something of when we will be there, all three of us. But it'll probably be in the afternoon on one of the Saturdays, just because that's a better day for everyone else. And then, if you really want to talk to those other two guys that are going to be there, you could talk to them too. I mean,
yeah. Now, see, look at this. Listen to this. He's talking about, I could have caught a toad on a frog that day. You know what? I don't remember somebody who actually took the time to tie a frog on his rod the night before. I don't recall that rod coming out of the rod locker and being put in my hands.
Oh, I do. Wait, I do, because you got a 45-minute. You owe Chad $100 for the lesson. Did
you see him put that rod in my hand and say, "Go throw this today"? No, I didn't bring no frog.
I'm just saying,
bro. All you had to do is ask me.
Jeremy made me tie one on Wednesday.
I was throwing.
I had Matt out there throwing a frog in January.
That would just be insane. That's because you left the frog water to me. Yeah. Anywho, well, we'll come back and we'll visit the frog water and we'll see how good those lessons really were. And then I'll let Matt pay the $100 fee for.
No. I didn't get the lesson. The lesson was for you. I know how to catch a frogfish. I caught a bunch of them.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, I got a brand new frog rod back here that I still haven't done a video on that I got to. Yeah. If you weren't going for your second hour launching, I would have.
They have a frog rod or frog rod. I didn't know they made a special one.
I do have a frog rod. It's for punching, and the occasional every now and then that I might actually throw a frog on, because to me it's such a waste of time. I could be throwing a perfectly good buzz bait and actually catching fish,
or the Hellraiser.
Yeah, but that buzz bait won't come through that cheese,
or that Hellraiser.
No. You don't need to. Then you just throw a punch rig down through the cheese, and you just catch the fish down there. Ain't got to worry about no.
It's not as fun. It's not as fun watching that blow up.
And Matthew Acevedo says we should start punching frogs.
Now I can get behind that.
Did we get that in the Monster Bass box this month? Like a Ned rig frog? I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think this is how it's supposed to work.
Monster Bass Ned frogs from Lunker Hunt.
Yeah, it came from Lunker Hunt. That'd be. You're supposed to make a frog look like a crawl on a Ned rig. I don't know. It'd be an interesting concept.
And then I have to show you, for Marines out there, I have the Ned head just for them.
Is it a crayon?
Why, of course it is, sir.
There we go.
Show the wacky rig.
Marine Corps red, wacky rig. And then my favorite for those who throw an A rig.
And then we got
Jerry came prepared tonight.
I make it bait for them Marines.
Oh, here we go. Chad says when we get down there, don't worry, we'll go some places where we can murder them on the frog. Don't worry. I will have my frogs prepared and ready to go. Because Gene already gave me like a playlist of frog videos.
He did. You just go to my channel and you type in frog fishing up here in the little search bar if you don't know how to use YouTube. It was quite hilarious.
Yeah, I kind of got schooled on that live stream from Fluke Master.
Hey, JT,
just go up in the search bar and type in Spro. You'll find plenty of material. I was like, oh Lord, JT, talk about getting called out.
JT, can you pull up Uncle Mark's comment and pin it?
Which one's Uncle Mark? Your family. Are they having a hootenanny down there in Southern Indiana?
That's why it hit me.
I gotta take this. If you guys have been following, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, and if you've ever seen the very first video I put out about where the origination of Fish with Gramps came from, the channel was dedicated to my grandfather, Burl Jenkins, and yeah, my uncle Marcus has popped in here. He said basically is if Grandpa can see this, so that means a ton to me, Uncle Mark. I can't tell you how much it means to me. But up here in the top of my in the top of the man cave wall, which is it's at the highest point coming down, is the is some lures that he used to fish with that Jeremy mounted on a special little plaque. But then also on that is like the placard that says Burl Jenkins, and that was on their mailbox. And I actually went and found that when somebody had run it over, years after Grandma and Grandpa were passed. But Uncle Mark, I can't thank you enough for that comment. That means the world to me. It truly does. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, yeah, so for a lot of people that don't know, I mean, I call myself Gramps, but Fishing with Gramps is really dedicated to my grandfather, which is why it doesn't matter what I do, where this channel goes, it's the channel name stays the same because the Gramps is for my grandfather Burl. So yeah, it's thanks a lot, Uncle Mark. I really love hearing that.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
And if you guys haven't followed him on Instagram, here's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get some fish stuff. You're gonna get some American Legacy and Old Town ads, right? Because he's got to live up to his sponsor, and then his grandbabies. There is nothing else. There's fishing and his grandkids. Okay. You might get a picture of his wife every now and then, but
she doesn't allow it.
of it is going to be the grandbabes. So,
yeah, most of the pictures with Gran in them are somewhere where she's trying to block out her face from being on camera or hiding somewhere. But
because you've had to take her out because you've been on the water or editing too long.
I see our good friend Samet Searcher is in the chat. Bobby, welcome.
What's
you guys
up,
will see us fishing with Bobby quite a bit this summer. I appreciate it, Uncle Mark. I really do. And I need to get down there and see you guys one of these days too, because they're down in Tennessee. There's good fishing down there as well.
But
all right, let's see. I need to get back. Y'all making me wish I had a family. Hey, if you're right here, you're part of the Freedom fam.
Yeah.
And like,
or you might get pictures of
spicy chicken.
Yeah, Popeyes. Well, not anymore because he's on a diet now.
Nah, I've just changed my lifestyle. I will have a cheat day once a week, and the guys at work get a kick out of it because they know I look forward to every Wednesday when we're getting our hot chicken. But other than that, and there was my cousin Brian in the house too. So yeah, we got the whole fishing fam in the house tonight. Well, awesome. Man, I gotta tell you what, I need to let you guys talk for a minute so I can regain my composure.
You'll be all right.
Well, it's all up to you, Matt. We want to hear you talk about something important that you know about.
Something important.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and start. No.
See, this is exactly what happens on the water. There is no. Oh, it's just awesome. All right, something important that I know about. So Gramps was talking about it, but let me reiterate how easy Catch 22 is. If you guys are struggling with the app, because I saw that, if you're struggling with the app, it's pretty simple. Okay. I got to make sure it's not showing, which it is. It's showing personal stuff. When you first log in, you're going to see your dashboard. Okay. All right. And so if you've signed up for a tournament and you hit your dashboard, it's going to have every tournament that you're in. And those are all listed for tournaments that I'm in right now. I'm in the Weight Loss Challenge, Catch 22 for 23. And then within that, you can buy a ticket for your state. Now, the state challenge for Catch 22 is like Gramps was saying, you have to have a measuring board. It's black bass and smallmouth bass, and it's by inches. The any 22 anywhere in the country, same deal, $22. That is any fish, any length, and you just upload a picture. There is the catch board, and I'm going to give you a little tip. That exact catch board is legal. That is called the carbonite. And if you actually join KBF, you get a Fish USA discount or 25% off or something, which makes that like $7-8 at Fish USA. Gramps, you want to give me a thumbs up on that? You can basically get it for free. So that one
or at least get your money back if you join KBF.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that one you would use for the state challenge of black bass and measure, and then you get into the whole little competition like Josh did last year, using the carbonite from the bank, posting the pictures. You don't have to be in a yak. It's super, super simple. It's a way to get you in to know how to do catch, photo, and release, because that's the important part, is understanding how to take the picture. I lost a bunch of fish, not a bunch. I lost several fish last year for different things. One, had the wrong identifier at the start of a month. Two, fish just jump off your board before you get a good picture. So you learn things, right? It's all a learning process, but it's a way to get your feet wet. It's a way to get you out there. It's a way to show off. And then you're in with us competing. And then you can say, hey, I've got 300 inches and you're in Florida, which that's cheat code fishing down there, but it's okay. So something else I know about, Jeremy, I know about barbecue.
Oh, well, okay. You're right. There is one thing you know about.
So you guys saw some of the pictures. I took a little itty bitty smoker down to the national championship. Okay. It's called an ugly drum smoker. You can YouTube it and see what it is, but basically it's a 55-gallon drum that stands upright. I got a charcoal basket in the bottom, and you light the top of it, and it will run for 18-20 hours. And it'll, based on how you do the little air thing, it'll run at 225 for that 18 or 20 hours in 30 to below weather. I know, I did it with my brother in Iowa. So I threw some chicken on it, and I did some steaks, and I said to him, I go, if this isn't the best chicken you've ever had, you can go ahead and tell me. And Gramps couldn't stop eating long enough for me to get it fully pulled apart and video it. I mean, it was good.
He kept handing me the wings, and I was like,
I bought a small 8-pound chicken, and he was like, there's no way that's going to feed us all. Like, he was looking at it going, there's no way. And we each had 2 sandwiches.
Yep.
And we ate good. We ate good.
Yeah, we did. I was shocked, amazed, and thoroughly impressed at how really, really good that chicken was. I mean, that was Jeremy don't eat chicken. And
I ate chicken that night.
So yeah, it was really good.
Look, like if you come and we're doing a thing where I'm cooking, I'd be more than happy for you to show me how to do jerk chicken, because my wife loves Caribbean jerk chicken. Look, JT's gonna lose at losing.
Sherson's already trying to invite Matt over to the family reunion next year.
I saw that.
She's smart. Yeah, I'm gonna lose at losing. Hey, you know what? At the end of the year, when we're both under 200 pounds, we'll both be big losers. I'll say that.
I don't know if I can cook for your family. It's too big. There's too many.
Yeah, we got a pretty good sized family on my mom's side. That's for sure.
But yeah, that's we're gonna plan on doing a lot of stuff this year. We're gonna try to. We kicked around the idea of creating a merch store. So we got to kind of try to figure that out. So if you guys want to buy Freedom Squad stuff, you can buy Freedom Squad stuff. My wife had some really good ideas about, like, there's an OEF5 jersey, a Jeremy jersey, and a Gramps jersey. And if you want to buy our jerseys and not your own, you could do that. So there'll be more stuff coming down the road, like literally a lot of stuff. It's going to be a big thing. One of the other things with FishOPS that we're going to be involved in, hopefully this year, and we'll see what happens, is Fish Camp. But I don't know how it's going to work out, because we're going to have to be back down in the water at Huntsville in Veterans Day. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, but that's the cool thing too, is so we'll when those details kind of get hammered out, and that's probably something that's going to be a couple years in the works. And but the goal right now is to get a lot of people involved in the Catch-22 challenge, raising money for those charities that we love. In the future, on Freedom Squad Fridays, we'll do some talking about the Knucklehead Bass Fishing Series, and that's gonna be a big deal. I mean, that is going to be a big deal, and it's going to be fun. I mean, if you talk about a fun fishing series that's made for just the everyday person who likes to fish and have a chance at some big prizes, that's just going to be a huge deal. But more in our region here in the Midwest, we will love. We're going to love spending more time on the water in different places. You're going to see videos coming from all kinds of state parks, the rivers. We're going to get out and really kind of show a lot of the places that we like to go and fish, and kind of show you what it is we love about the national parks that we have here in Indiana, the state parks that we have here. My youngest, John Michael, one of our Freedom Squad members, is looking forward to getting out and doing some fishing and camping. So we may end up on, Lake Monroe in the Hoosier National Forest, camping for a weekend or something. It may take us a couple years to kind of cover everything we want to do, but we want to grow this community into something where, again, we're reaching out, bringing more people in. It's just one of those things. I see Slyfox asking, Chad, did he get set up to join all 4 of Gramps' team together like yours so that you get a couple of $1 discount? I need to remind Chad to do that because I know there's people holding out because they want to fish all 4. And I'll make sure that he gets that going. And Jeremy's going to go get more coffee.
Well, here's the other thing too is it's all fluid of what we're going to be doing, and we just want to help you all out. And if you need to want to use a yak and JT's are booked up, hell, I'll get out of mine and you can sit in mine and go fishing in it. It's really simple. Like I was intimidated at first. All right. So as you all know, this is my first year kayak fishing. And the first lake I put it on was basically a half-acre pond across my street that I can stand up in. Okay. And I can swim. Don't get me wrong. But I had all my safety gear first. I had all of that. Got out on the water and I was nervous. I was nervous about tipping over. I'm a big guy in a little itty-bitty plastic boat. No issues whatsoever. And the more I used it, and then I went down to Kentucky Lake in some serious water that was pretty daggum rough, a couple of days of practice, paddling, in 3-4 foot rollers. And I was never once worried at all until I popped some holes in my kayak and it was starting to sink a little bit. I can't get that lived down because the Old Town guy over here won't let me live it down. But it was it's a great experience. It's a great way to fish. Even yesterday or Wednesday when I was out, it was 45 degrees, and I told them live. I said, you know what? I just enjoy being out here. It's so nice out here. It was super quiet. It was so peaceful. I had a line wet. I had people talking to me in chat. It was awesome. So, Jeremy and JT were watching, and Jeremy was like, dude, I wish I was there with you. And I said, I invited you, but I forget he's got obligations on Wednesdays.
Dad things.
Yep.
So
now I saw Hook Life ask the question about having a veteran's home in his backyard in West Lafayette. Have we ever done anything there, or is there an opportunity there? So let me back up a little bit, because now keep in mind, we're just 3 guys. We're not a organization, a 501(c) insured and all that stuff too. So organizations like Heroes on the Water, the Fallen Outdoors, there are tons of organizations out there that basically go to those homes and do the things like they did with Jeremy and them in the VA domiciliary. So what we have to be careful of is, we're just 3 dudes trying to make a difference, right? So we leave those kind of things for the guys in the homes and things like that, for the professional organizations that have the proper people, the training, the insurance, the financial backing to be able to do stuff like that. What we're here to do is to promote to those folks who are out and kind of on their own, to gather together with other fellow veterans so that they're not stuffed in the house and join us to doing activities that we're already doing. So we kind of leave those kind of things to organizations that are built for and focused on providing that kind of, care, treatment, therapy, things like that. We're just guys trying to go out, do things together, but also to raise money for those kinds of organizations. So like for this year, the Catch 22 challenge is focused on Heroes on the Water. Last year it was Mission 22, and be doing other things like that. So that's kind of where we're at. And we're 100% in working in our region, but also promoting what Chad Hoover and KBF and the Knucklehead Bass Fishing Series with FishOPS is doing through there. So our goal right now is to work with Chad and others and support those organizations by getting other people out and getting involved with, these challenges and things like that. So trust me, we're all three busy dudes as it is, but we love to spend what little bit of free time that we do have hanging out together, going fishing, doing these challenges. We like fishing some of the tournament stuff too, because, it's a good way to meet other kayak anglers and kind of grow our community here in the Midwest. But being that we've, kind of worked together and reached out and hooked up with Chad and whatnot, it gives us an opportunity to go down to the KBF headquarters and do cool stuff with him, because the more of us that are doing it, the bigger the reach gets. And that's kind of why we're trying to use YouTube and Instagram and Twitch and these platforms where, we've kind of been sitting around doing our own things. Matt and I used to be heavily involved in the American Legion and things like that, but we've even both moved on, even though we were in two different spots do two different things. This to us is more in our wheelhouse, what we like to do. And we could talk about fishing forever.
Yep.
And, obviously you can see how much of an impact this had on Jeremy, because he gets time with us, spending more time on camera, doing these kind of things. It's good for him to get out and talk fishing and talk to others, because it kind of gets him back into society, comfortable with being around people. And, once he gets to know him, he goes this whole Mr. Shy thing, and then you can't shut him up.
And anybody notice, Jeremy, you want to tell them about your beard? I mean, Gramps and I got the glorious beard. You want to tell them what happened there, buddy? Huh?
Okay, so
you should act like your mic is like his mic was muted or something. You just took the. Go ahead, tell the story. What happened to your magic goat there?
Real quick. So what had happened was it spontaneously combusted when I was lighting a cigarette. How, I don't know. But this glorious beard that I had went up in smoke. So we had to start over. You will see it's going to be back. It's all good.
Black?
But yes.
Well, you gonna dye it again?
I'm not old like that white stuff you got on your face. They make just for men for that. Let me tell you, it works.
I noticed it when we were in the green room, and he told us,
I didn't even
we
notice
died
it.
then, and we're still dying.
I didn't notice it for the first 7 minutes until Matt said something. He goes, "Oh wait, what?"
Because Jeremy's beard is about as long. His was about as long as mine, except it was really nice dark brown. But
it was a beard oil. That causes it to. Yeah. So.
Oh my goodness!
Thanks,
Ralph.
Carol.
Family show, Ralph.
Oh, yeah, better, yeah. Yeah.
I just saw that, Ralph.
Yeah.
You can't take him anywhere.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Now it's downhill.
Yeah, chat done gone, lost its mind. Oh my goodness. All right. So again, now I will be, and I'll say this because I've already done 2 now. So Adam Oden, one of our Freedom Fan members here, was one of the first ones, and he's the first one I saw because I was kind of watching the leaderboards for the NE22 or any of the other challenges. But Adam was the first one to get a catch 22 fish, who I knew was a Fish and Fam member right here, and he uploaded a fish. And then I was also watching the Indiana leaderboard, and one of my good buddies who fishes in our local derbs, Justin Cavett, who's also a veteran, actually caught and uploaded. That was like a 19-inch smallie, and he was bank fishing too. Mm-hmm. So I will be watching, for names that I know, especially ones who pop up in the chat here every week and have been supporting the channel for a long time. And you guys have been behind the whole supporting of veterans. Jeremy just gave away, and I know we can't talk too many in details, but Jeremy just gave away another rod, reel, and bait pack combo to another veteran who had a buddy of him invited him to go fishing. So Jeremy's like, I got just the stuff for you. So I've got another rod and reel combo. It happens to be an Abu Garcia Black Max combo that I actually won in this year's Heroes on the Water thing. I can't remember where I finished, but I finished up high enough that I got a rod and reel combo from somebody. So I thought that was really cool as well. So I've got that ready to go. I'll probably put a call out in the next month or so to start restocking. So what you guys did a couple of years ago, I put a call out to everybody and said, hey, if you're, restocking and getting ready for your spring fishing season and you got some leftover baits that, you've got some partial packages that you don't want to use, hey, throw those in the mail and send them to me, and we'll put together bait bundles. And because we all do it. I mean, we spend, 3 months up here off of the water, and everybody's like, having sales on baits, and, we're buying new bags and stuff. And so we're going to start putting out a call to have everybody, and I'll put my address in there because we're just going to ship it to my house. I'm not jacking with the whole, sending it to a post office box anymore. Really wasn't worth it. So I'll put a call out, and you guys can send a bunch of stuff. We'll get it all sorted out. Jeremy and I will put together bait, bundles again. I just went and bought a bunch of those $3, tackle box kind of plastic things at Walmart, and we sorted hooks, sinkers, and all that kind of stuff into bait bundles because, as we even grow more in every one that we reach through our each one reach run, then we're going to find more and more people. So we had a lot of generous people a couple years ago send me like boxes of stuff, and you guys are fantastic. And oddly enough, a year after that, somebody came across one of those videos and ended up sending me a box of like 7 or 8, bait casters and a bunch of rods out of the kindness of their heart. And that was totally amazing. So we've given most of those away, and we'll put out another call this year. Like I said, send your leftover stuff and we'll sort it out and give it away. And honestly, that I was thinking about that today, and I forgot, and I need to do, and we're going to do this right now. So, and this is how I remember. And Matt's going to be like, oh yeah, as soon as I grab this.
I'm scared.
Matt, do you have any recollection of what's in this black bag from American Legacy Fishing?
No, because I didn't see what all you grabbed. Oh, yes, I do. That's the frogs I bought to give away. That's the OEF5 specials, isn't it?
So, yeah, we never had that. So, you know what? Tonight is going to be the perfect time. So what we said we were going to do is each of us were going to pick out and put together some baits and do a Freedom Squad giveaway. Now, here's the caveat. Anybody watching this live stream, you need to come back after the show's over and drop a hashtag Freedom Squad, hashtag Catch22 Challenge in the comments section. Why? Because I switched over to Restream to do my live streams because it's so much easier to do everything. And plus, you get to see my beautiful face in 1080p instead of 720.
I'd wish,
but it doesn't have the giveaway tool that I had in StreamYard. So what we're going to do is you drop and write a sentence. So this is only going to be for the people who are watching tonight or watching the replays. Are only going to use Freedom Squad and Catch22, hashtag Freedom Squad, hashtag Catch22 Challenge. Write out a comment using those 2 words. Don't just put the 2 words. Write a statement. I'm going to fish in the for supporting, whatever. And there's Matt's kitty cat back there. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use the Tube Buddy comment picker, and we are going to do a giveaway. And what's the giveaway going to be? Well, from OEF5, it's going to be 2 of his favorite Spro frogs. And honestly, from what I have learned from these 2 goobers, from Chad, from everybody else who's given me every bit of unsolicited advice on how to frog fish, you only need 2 colors, black and white. Okay. So that's what Matt got to give you guys. Jeremy has got a Texas rig combo, which is some weights, some hooks, and some 10-inch blue fleck power worms. And I don't have those here, but I will. And yeah, this is, Matt's going to be like showing people how to, and not Matt, but Chad. But so, and then me, I am going to put together it'll surprise you because you think I'm going to say a jackhammer and trailers. No. Anybody who's been around for a while knows it's going to be a couple of combo packs, and it won't be these bags. I'll take some out because I buy these in bulks. I'm going to put together a stupid tube kit, and the heads are going to be the ones that I poured with my stupid tube mold from Do It Molds. So you're going to get hand poured jig heads that I use for my stupid tube, along with probably 10 or 15 each of 2 different sizes of my favorite stupid tubes, because honestly, every year these seem to catch, and I haven't showed them much in the last year because I was kind of keeping this one on the down low. But yeah, I'm going to put together a couple power packs. So you're going to have our 3 favorite techniques: Matt's frogs, Jeremy's 10-inch power worms, and my stupid tubes. I love me some stupid tubes. So again, write out hashtag Freedom Squad, hashtag Catch22 Challenge. And later on, probably by the next live, I will use the comment picker and then announce the winner in probably the next live.
Okay, so Chad asked me to do something on the Fishing Chaos app. So I'm going to attempt to do that right now, and hopefully y'all can see. So remember, I held my phone up earlier, and I showed you my tournament dashboard of all of the tournaments I'm signed up on. Yep. So how you get to set it to your default view. All right, so here's the dashboard, right? I'm going to click on Catch22 Challenge, and then when it loads up, it looks like this. And then in the middle, it says Tournament Dashboard. You click that, and then that takes you to like a little leaderboard screen. And if you see the cog icon up there in the upper right-hand corner, you click, oh, crap, keyboard.
You knock everything over, and then you push the button.
You click that, and then it pulls over a window. And if you see the little slider, it says default view. And if you click that, it will automatically open that tournament every time you open Fishing Chaos. So
very nice.
Does that work, Chad? After I busted everything.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah,
that'll work.
So that's what, and seriously, here's like, let me just see if I can pull up a.
That's okay, Liz. What I will do is I will do a screen recording, and I'll create a YouTube short of it.
That works
because
too.
I did in the video that I just put out before we went live on Mission 22 on Catch22. I show you how to upload a fish and add it to the leaderboard and things like that, and then also the process I use for measuring, checking hand placement, mouth is closed against the fish. Make sure you check your measurements.
Right.
All that is now. It should be the videos there, so you guys can watch that after. Now hold on a minute. Frank says, since I'm not eligible for your giveaway, may I enter anyway? And if I win, donate the prize to your recreational therapy work. Most definitely. And Frank, and for those it's not like Frank is discluded, but I do have a rule that I will only ship prizes to the lower 48 because I'm not trying to pay any Canadian. And I love our Canadian brothers and sisters up north who love to fish. I'm just not trying to ship stuff over there. And Frank knows this. So he knows I care a lot about him being here and him supporting the stuff too. So Frank, most definitely, if your name gets drawn from the comments, that will definitely go into a package that will go to a veteran 100% for sure. Or if you want to designate somebody here in the channel that is, that you're a fan favorite from, I'll ship it to them just as well. But Frank, I really, really appreciate that. I see we got Brennan in the house, Brown Baitco. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, Bob's like me. He likes fishing tubes. Love me some tubes.
I got
And
a
the
quick
cool
stat
thing
for you.
was that was actually Terry McWilliams here in Indiana was kind of one who kind of spilled the bag on stupid tube fishing years ago here in the Midwest. And that was pretty cool because I actually learned this from another buddy of mine. And that's why I've been throwing stupid tubes so long.
You want a quick stat, and I'd like to see this increase tonight. We have 192 anglers signed up for Catch 22 already, and
wow.
My personal goal would be see 8 more and get to 200 before the end of the month. And we're already we got a few days left, but there's already 301 fish on the board.
Yeah, but I mean that's really cool that we're almost halfway to where we were for the last year's total, and we're only in the second week. We're only in the second week. It's the 13th of January, and we're Jeremy. Did you see this one?
Shalom, my nephew.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah,
Welcome.
I already acknowledged it.
Yep, there you go. Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 8 o'clock. We thank you all for spending an hour. Man, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? But I appreciate everybody for popping in tonight. We're going to try to do maybe we'll try to do Freedom Squad Fridays, a couple times a month, just to give updates, give shout outs to everybody who's out there doing the Catch 22. I'll continue to, I know Mike knows that tubes have been out for a while because Mike's one of the guys who knows about. I fished with Mike years ago and learned a lot from him when we were fishing tournaments together. But
Wheeler just did a video on some baits and cold water and stuff, and he goes, "Man, you guys in Indiana, you can still throw tubes."
Yeah, he knows. So, he grew up here.
I know.
He knows the deal. He definitely does that too. But again, I want to thank you all for joining us on a Freedom Squad Friday. I want to do more of these. Maybe we'll do them a couple times a month. We want to do updates as we go along through and then talk about more of the other things. I will continue to have my lives on. I'll have continued to do my lives at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. I have a lot of industry folks that I've been, we got Tom from Strike King coming up in the near future. We're going to have Christine Fisher coming up. We got a lot of these folks that are getting ready to get back out and get back into their tournament side of things. But then I've got some other folks from smaller businesses that are in the fishing industry that I want to get in and talk to so they can tell us about kind of how they got started and help promote their businesses as well. All in the hopes of, obviously taking care of those small businesses because they are the backbone of our great country. And we want to support the businesses that make and manufacture a lot of things here in the United States. Just to let you guys know, and I actually, we talk about it a little bit here and there, but to let you know, not just Gramps this year, but all of Freedom Squad, Matt, Jeremy, and me are all now partnered with American Legacy Fishing and Outdoors. So that is another cool thing that will help Matt and Jeremy both in their endeavors. And we as Freedom Squad are partnering up with American Legacy Fishing because they truly support our veterans and really believe in everything that we're doing. So we want to continue to spread the word about a great tackle shop that was actually mentioned as one of the top tackle shops in the state of Indiana by Wired to Fish. And I just wanted to share about that because I love working with and being around good people. 100% faux show.
They are good people.
Yes, they are.
Every time I've been down there, and it's a fur drive for me, trust me. It's a fur drive. But their website's pretty good. It's an awesome setup. It's an awesome shop. Super nice people every time I've ever been in. And they know their stuff too. It's not like they've got kids in there that are just working for a part-time job. They're actual anglers. So we went into a full on blown discussion about a reel, that was put into our hand that was not released yet, really, and all of us came to the same agreement that we liked it, except for how it felt in your hand. Like it was, she just handed it to us, and I was like, ooh, and then Gramps was like, no, let me see it, and he was like, ooh, it was uncanny. So.
Yeah, a lot of people might walk in American Legacy Fishing if you actually go into the showroom and meet Kayla for the first time and think, oh, here's just another pretty face that's a salesman. Oh, no. She's a hammer.
She's a stick.
She and her boyfriend kick the butts of most of the people who fish in the tournaments that they fish in. And she really, really knows her stuff. It makes it awesome. And every one of the people that work in there are just that way too, from Gran to Brian, all of them. I mean, just great people. So, Jeremy, any more parting words of wisdom before we get out of here tonight?
Nope.
Don't catch your beard on fire.
Yeah.
It will grow back.
I want to give one quick shout out before we wrap up and get out of here. I want to thank my sister Joy, my niece Sherston. I know my dad's watching. Hey, Pops. And honestly, my Uncle Mark, thank you, sir. That meant the world to me. That really did. So, again, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting Fishing with Gramps, Freedom Squad, OEF5 and Jeremy, everything we do. And I'll tell you what, we're going to get out and do more this year. That is faux show. One quick more time. Freedom Squad.
Freedom Squad.
Freedom Squad. Thank you, Sly.
He's always late. Jeremy's
Get
always
outside when you can. Make some memories. One cast.